Somebody out there watching this right now has people or influences around them trying to get them to conform and to become something that they are not. And this is my message to you. I know it's very tempting and it may even feel like the right thing to do at the moment, but as hard as it may be, you must resist. Because once you begin to conform to what others want you to be, you'll begin to lose sight of who you truly are. Social conformity is a powerful force, and it's ingrained in us at a very early age. I mean, we learn to fit in, to seek approval, to avoid conflict by aligning our behaviors and beliefs with those around us. And there's just a certain comfort in conformity. It feels safe. It provides us a sense of belonging and a feeling that we are a part of something bigger. Many people see others doing things a certain way, holding certain opinions, living certain lifestyles even, and it can be incredibly tempting to just do the same, to fit into the mold that society or our immediate circle has constructed for us to fit into. But I believe that while conformity may offer short-term ease, it often leads to long-term discontent. Because when you conform, you begin to suppress your unique qualities, your passions, and your true voice. And you risk becoming just a shadow of yourself, living a life dictated by others' expectations rather than your own desires and values. I mean, for the most part, every great thinker, every revolutionary, every person who has ever made a significant impact on the world did so not by conforming, but by challenging the status quo. They dared to be different, to speak out, to follow their own path, despite the pressures to conform. Despite being ostracized or labeled as crazy or weird or perhaps even attacked, their authenticity and refusal to conform became their greatest strength. And see, I believe that all conforming really is just sacrificing your true self for the illusion of acceptance. Because ask yourself, would these same people still accept me if I were just me? It means living a life that doesn't truly reflect who you are. And while it might feel easier in the moment to go along with the crowd, this path often leads to a sense of emptiness and regret. If you just follow the crowd, then you'll end up in no different a place than the crowd you follow. So don't be afraid to be the one to break off and end up in a different spot. Authenticity is strength. It's what makes you unique. When you embrace who you truly are, you bring something fresh and irreplaceable to the table, and you may just inspire others to do the same. And resisting the urge to conform is not about being rebellious or just doing whatever it takes to be different. It's about being you, honoring your own dreams, values, and perspectives. It's about recognizing that your worth is not determined by how well you fit into someone else's mold, but by how you authentically live your own life. So embrace your differences and your unique perspective on life. Celebrate what makes you, you. And remember that the world needs your authenticity in this age of fake, this age of pretend and mass conformity. So just be real, because real people come few and far between these days. I feel like these days, whenever I talk to somebody, I question whether I'm actually even talking to the person I'm faced with. Like, I'm often left asking myself if these are even their real thoughts or opinions, or is this just what they were told to think and say? And I don't think I'm alone here. I feel like many people feel this way. Like, you meet 5 different people, but they all feel like the exact same person, as if they all got their software downloaded from the same program. And it can really create a lonely and boring feeling. Like, every interaction just becomes more and more predictable. Rarely do I ever come across somebody who's just genuinely being themselves, just embracing their own uniqueness without a care. Like, these days it's just, that's cringe, bro. L take, bro. But these will come from the same dweebs that spam W's in their favorite streamers chat all day. We've got NPCs calling actual unique or different people cringe. And I feel like it wasn't always like this. Like, nowadays, most conversations just start with, did you see that one tweet, bro? Like, it's just a stale feeling with everybody. I mean, you hardly even come across people with a unique sense of humor anymore. People just regurgitate brain rot TikTok memes all day. I'll go to somebody's social media page and the majority of their posts just consist of reposts of other people's posts. Like, I want to know your take on this topic. I want to hear your opinion, not somebody else's. It's just weird to me. And I feel like these days, it's incentivized to conform. I mean, through algorithms and all of this monitoring of everything we say all the time. I mean, you kind of have to act a certain way or do certain things to be heard or get by, be successful in a lot of areas. And it just has created this like almost NPC effect where like people just have dialogue options and no one's really saying what's on their minds. And I don't know, man, it just feels weird. And I feel like I'm not alone in this feeling, but I'm sure there are also a lot of people out there that would tell me I'm just being nihilistic or something. And when I meet people who are older, who perhaps didn't grow up with any of this technology, social media, or any of these things we have today, because they lived so long without these things, they actually had time to develop their own personalities and they've gone through far less programming. And when I meet them, I can feel it, you know, like this feels like a unique person, a unique interaction. But when I interact with people my own age range or younger, it's just terrible. It's awful. I mean, if you want to talk about copy, paste, and just the art of conversation being completely dead, the art of critical thinking or thinking at all, really, it's just gone. And this isn't me posing as some enlightened being that just sees everybody as some NPC like that. That's not what this is about. I don't think that of myself. It's just how I feel. This is how I feel interacting with most people my age range and older sometimes, but I feel like I get this feeling less with older people. They have more life experiences, and it's not just about having more life experiences, but it's about what they gathered from those experiences, because multiple people can all have one experience, but some may pull different lessons and different things out of that same exact experience, and some people just pull less out of it. Like if I were to ask certain people, or perhaps somebody older, how their trip to Paris was, they would describe so many things to me. They could tell me about the culture, the food, the mannerisms of the people, how they acted, the sights to see, everything. And they would tell me something special about that trip, something I could walk away with it. And I feel like I just learned something. But when I ask someone my own age, like, oh, how was your trip to Paris? Just like, oh, the food was really good. That's just about it. Like, it's all they gathered from their trip to a whole different place, a whole different country. It's just, oh, yeah, the food was good. Like, is that it? Like, is this all you gathered from going to Paris? I've never left the country. I want to know more. Like, how did the people act? How was it there? What was the weather like? I don't know. Like, what type of, did you learn anything that you could teach me? No, just the food was good. A little Instagram post of a baguette. I just, it sucks. I don't know if it's some sort of intellectual stimulation thing or what, but, and I don't know if people my age will eventually grow out of this, you know, as they get older, they'll mature more. But like, dude, I'm 23 and I know people that are older than me that just, they'll take a trip somewhere and just tell me, oh, the food was good. Like, okay. Like, will they ever grow out of it? I don't know. I don't know if you can grow out of this. They got their personalities from social media, you know, like that, those critical stages in our development where we really develop our personalities, our perspectives, all these things. They had their faces in their phone throughout that entire time. And it's like they just skipped over it. Like they didn't develop anything. They're just like a robot. It's just a drone that's been programmed by, whether it be Facebook, MySpace at the time, Instagram, Twitter. It's just, they got programmed. And you can ask them something and it's almost as if they're reading off of a script. Especially with college students. Look at these college interviews where people go on these campuses and ask college students like really controversial questions or just questions about anything. It's like they're just all reading off of a script. There's just like no unique perspective, like nothing grounded in their own experiences through their own life. It's just all like off a script. Like it's rehearsed. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I hope I never become like that. But, you know, I think I was outside and like doing things during my childhood. I wasn't on my phone. I didn't have a phone. Maybe that's it. I didn't grow up with a phone. I didn't have an iPhone or any of this. No touchscreen. Everyone around me had iPods and iPhones. I didn't have that. All they had was a little flip phone to call my parents in case something went really wrong. But other than that, they didn't want to be called. They were at work. They wouldn't pick up anyways. So I was just kind of like, just out there exploring the world. You know, I had nobody home, just walking the streets, just living life, experiencing life. And I feel like everyone else was just like on a game or on their phone or just being taken away from the experience of life, that very grounded, that grounding experience. They didn't have that. They just skipped right over it. And here they are, just nothing up there, just nothing at all. And that's why I always encourage people to go live life. Get off the computer, get off the game, get off the phone, just live life and take it all in. Take as much as you possibly can. Just try to learn something from each experience you have. Walk away with something of value. Try, at least just try. Live in the moment. Take the headphones out, turn the music off, just live in the moment, okay? Think to yourself, speak with people, just take it all in. I don't know, just take it all in and, live this very special experience we all get to have, like life, being a human. This is all special. You're so lucky to even be here, to have this moment. I mean, it's like people just don't even understand how lucky they are to even exist in this little blip of time where our life is even possible. I mean, when you really think about it, everything we have now, everything we're experiencing right now, it's not even explainable, and you can almost chalk it up to a miracle. And what are most people doing with this miracle? They're just wasting it away with their faces in their phone screens. Especially, they're just wasting their youth away. I mean, they're not going outside. They're not doing anything. They probably know more about their favorite streamer than their own mother, their own family members. They probably know more about their favorite streamer than they know about themselves, because they spend more time in some streamer's chat than with themselves, thinking to themselves, just existing in the moment with themselves, learning who and what they truly are and want to become, etc. Like they don't have those moments. They spend it all just fixated on other people, social media. Like, it's just, they've been snagged by algorithms. And it's always beyond me when I ask somebody about themselves and like they don't know. They haven't even thought about like answers to some very basic questions about themselves or what they think about certain things. They don't even know. Like, how do you spend all of this time as yourself and you don't even know your own thoughts about anything? Like, you've never explored this in your own mind. Like, when you're laying in bed, at least, when you're in the shower, at least, like, are you just never thinking? What's going on? I don't understand how. I don't get it. And hey, I know all people aren't like this. I meet interesting people all the time, but I'm just really putting an emphasis on my day to day and like what I'm seeing on the internet, who I'm interacting with the most often. This is just how I feel. I definitely want to hear y'all's perspectives on this. I get such interesting comments from some of y'all, and it really excites me to see like what some people will watch my video and they'll walk away with something or share a take with me that actually just blows me away. Some people are so smart, and I don't know if they even give themselves credit for how smart they are or how unique their perspective may be. But I'm glad that some people share it in my comment section. That makes me very happy. I love reading comments. It's like my favorite thing. When I'm at the gym, dude, I'm reading through all these comments, and I try to interact with as many people as possible. So it's great. It really is. And I want to encourage that out of people, because I don't feel like many people even are told that you have a unique perspective. You have an interesting thought that needs to be said out loud, or that some people may appreciate hearing. Not many people are told that, and that's why they suppress it. That's why they instead just conform, because they may not think they're interesting enough, not think they're smart enough, not think they're good enough, whatever the case may be. They just don't think they're enough, and so they just follow the pack instead. They'll just conform and not really explore themselves or their own thoughts. And that's really sad. It's wasted potential. So don't waste your potential. Voice your thoughts. I'm curious to read your comments. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at I Love Halloween. The O in love is a 0. And yeah, guys, hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Stay healthy. Peace.